Hello, family. How are you doing? I hope that everybody is enjoying this wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I'm so excited to bring to you Evertrue Bell. She's having a little technical difficulty logging on, but I wanted to make sure that I went ahead and jumped on so as not to make you guys wait. But here she comes. She's coming right now. Hello, Everton. We are live right now. So just so you know, the world can see your beautiful, beautiful face. You can say hello to everybody. Before we get started, Evertrue, I typically take a few moments just to introduce the audience to my platform as well as introduce them to you. And before we get started, again, fam, I hope everybody is doing fabulous. It's Thursday. Do you guys believe it's November the 12th? We're looking at November the 12th. And just short or shy of a week and a couple of days, we elected our first African American female as VP to the most powerful office in the world. I am so excited. I hope that alone gives you guys some energy. I hope that alone gives you some hope of what's possible when you believe. You have people that have been in the way. No, I'm going to back that up. People haven't been in the way. We've been in the way. And what I mean by that is that Kamala believed in her. When she took the steps, did the work, she got the skills, she got the degrees, she did what she needed to do to get there. And I want to say that same spirit that's in her is in us. And we have an opportunity right now. We have an opportunity to truly take ourselves to the next level. But before we dive all into that, let me first introduce a platform. And I want to say thank you for continuing to support me in the work that I'm doing to highlight the lives of African American women. This platform basically was born because we wanted to highlight both the journey and the success stories of professionals and entrepreneurs of color. We wanted to explore all the important and necessary information to help guide, inspire, and encourage all aspiring business owners and professionals of color. We want to equip them with specific, concrete examples, tools, tips, and tricks to lead them toward their own successes, not only in business, but in life. So I have the question that I ask every week. Are you ready to get fit? Are you ready to get fit? And the answer to that question is, I hope a resounding yes. A resounding yes. What is FIT? FIT stands for faith, intuition, and tenacity. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. Intuition is that internal GPS system that's constantly nagging at you about that idea or that dream or that vision or that thought that you've had that you've been sitting on. Well, now's not the time to sit anymore. It's time to kick it into tenacity and go get it done. Persevere, even in the spite of all odds, to know that you too can achieve. We just witnessed the most amazing thing happen last Tuesday on November the 3rd. And we are about to see some major things happen in each and every one of your lives. I'm speaking prosperity over you. I'm speaking blessings over you. I'm speaking abundance over you. And as we began to introduce to you today, our amazing, and I say amazing, 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 amazing leader, expert, and especially for those of you who are looking for alternate ways in which to recreate income into your household, this pro has been doing it for years. And not only has she been doing it, she's mastered it. She's taken it to levels, into heights that if you too want to take your business to those heights, you'll listen to the tools, tips, and tricks that she has to share with you. I'd like to give you a little bit of a bio about my guest today. I must admit that she is a childhood friend, or I've been knowing her for a long time. She is a dear friend of my mom's, and I'm just honored to have her because I've watched her all of my growing up do some amazing things, and it's just an honor to have her here. Her background is corporate direct sales and network marketing, trainer and consultant with broad experience and execution in direct sales field fundamentals. The prestigious honor of being World Sales Leader was awarded multiple times for ranking in the top 10% sales organizations worldwide. Her proficiency includes developing global perspective, prospecting, recruiting, training, and business development tools for independent contractors and corporate employees for a 200 plus Fortune 500 company. She was selected by the CEO to be the member of the global team to contribute to an unprecedented task to develop, communicate, and execute new globally branded sales and training and development materials for use in over 147 countries. Specialties includes expertise, includes strategic business planning, sales and strategies centered around the attainment of the corporate key performance indicators. She's highly skilled in developing 90-day business development strategies that will empower and assure record-breaking growth in direct sales industry. This woman right here, Evertrue Bell, is the woman that you want to go to when you're talking about elevating your game and elevating your strategy. So please do, wherever you are, the first thing that I need you to do is tag a friend. We do not need to leave one Black woman or woman of color behind. That story is our past. This is the new story. We bring everybody along so that they too can learn all these amazing, valuable skills so that they too can apply them in their lives. I want to say thank you, Evertrue Bell, for being here. If you would please give her a round of applause. Evertrue, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
So remember, everybody, grab a friend, grab a notepad, and grab your favorite beverage because you are in for a ride. Evertrue Bell, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm great and I'm honored. I really feel quite special that you've given me this opportunity, but I'm more excited over the fact that you're focusing on our women in our community who don't always get the privilege of the exposures that you bring into the world. So thank you for pulling me in. I love it, love it, love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, one of the things I want everybody to get a full picture of you. So put your screen back so that they can see it's cutting your head off a little bit. There you go. There you go, Queen. There you go. There you go, Queen. Get that
That
picture.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So you're right,
Okay.
Everett. And you know, one of the things I know you have a lot to share in that arena, but I'd like to ask you right now, Evertrue, what are you passionate about? What are you most passionate about?
Well, the most passion comes from the corporate development that I experienced because I was unique. I was an African American woman who grew up in the projects in the public housing, who probably got so many things that most people are not exposed to. And so my passion has been ever since, even before I retired, was to help pass on the gifts that were given to me to other, not just women, but to men as well. Anybody who wants to learn how to be successful working from home, because that's what really got me to a comfortable life today. I want to share my successes with others. So that's what I'm very passionate about. And if I just help one person every year take on the challenge of being a home based business owner, I feel good. I feel like I'm making a difference, in the world.
Right. Well, I think this is such an opportunity to talk about home-based businesses because as people are pivoting and looking at ways in terms of bringing in more income into their household and really struggling during this pandemic because either getting laid off or in a work environment that's really not conducive to really feeding their spirit and who they are, home-based business is an option. And a lot of people don't look at it necessarily like that, but Evertrue, you have worked in this business and it has done extremely well for you. What advice would you give those individuals?
I would say to give it a try. In this world, we need more than one stream of income. It's not relevant anymore to just have one job. for the whole entire life of your self as well as for your family. So what I learned early in life, I didn't know I was an entrepreneurial when I was 14. But I was. I started babysitting. And then I started making clothes for other young ladies in the projects and got paid for it. When I went to college, had no money, but I sewed buttons on and hemmed clothes and did things to get some money. So I didn't realize at the time that I was being an entrepreneurial, but I do now know that I have that energy, that blood inside of me, and I want to share that with others. Because in our community, we've been trained to want a job. And in our community, we tend to get the lowest paying jobs. But when you become an entrepreneurial, you have unlimited earning opportunities. And today, I really believe that if you want to have a good long life, you need more than one stream of income. Now, Jay-Z, I study him. He's just turned 50 years old and he has 9 streams of income. So we need to get out of that thinking that one good job is going to give us a better life because it's not. What you want to do is to create as many streams of income as you can so that you can have equality in your life. And let me just give you a quick example. When I was in college, I had from 1972 to 1975. That was a long time ago. But I had 3 streams of income, even though I was there on financial with financial aid. When I became a school teacher between 1976 and 1979, I had 4 streams of income. Didn't know this until I did a review on my life and how it had changed. But I taught, but I coached the girls volleyball team, girls basketball team, and I sold Avon. That was 4 streams of income. Well, when I moved into Avon as a corporate person, this is 1980 through 2009, guess what? I had 6 streams of income because I had quarterly bonuses, annual bonuses, my salary. Um, I had a 401k. I had some growing insurance with cash value. I was looking
Do
at
you
it
hear her
really.
talking to y'all? Do you hear her talking to y'all? Keep on going, Evertrue, please.
Okay. All right. Now, I retired from Avon after 34 years in 2009. Guess what? Right after I retired, I picked up a direct selling business because I did not want to lose my deductions, which was a stream of income. Having a home based business is the best way that you can take advantage of your taxes and tax deductions. But listen to this. Remember, I said when I was working as a corporate person, I had 6 streams of income. Sheryl, what do you think I have now? How many streams?
Of income. You had 6 streams of income when you were working. Well, see, I know your story. I know where you live and I know how you live. And it's quite large. So I'm going to just make a guess right now. And I want your screen. It's drifting ever true to the right. Your screen is drifting to the right. So I want you to be full
Okay.
center and circle so they can see you. There you go. But I would guess ever true. Okay, I'm going to guess. And I just know I'm guessing. But I know your life. Did it go down or did it go up? It went up. It went up. Let's say 8 streams.
Oh, you're underestimating me. I have 14 streams of income now. 14 streams of income. And that's more than double what I had when I was working. And I give the praise to the Lord first, but then to a
Oh,
home based business because all my life I've had a home based business. And that's why I'm so excited about being here with you tonight, Sheryl, because so many people in our community don't want to have a home based business. They think that it's too much work, or they think it's selling Avon or selling Mary Kay. But today, the world is wide open, and there's so many new things that you can do from home. But even better than the money that you make from home, having a home-based business, it draws you to other things that become streams of income. And Sheryl, do you want me to go through some of those things or? How do you
No,
want me to do this?
this is an opportunity to educate the audience. We're here to empower them. And by all means, we need you, Queen. We need you and all your knowledge. Yes, please do share. Do you
Okay,
want
well,
me to
first thing I want to do, I'm trying to get into, say that again.
You want me to pull up the sheet that you sent me, or you can go through it right now?
Yeah, I just want to top line a couple things on there.
Okay, perfect.
First, I want to give some statistics about the home-based business, because a lot of people don't really understand the power behind the home-based business industry. First of all, 50% of the U.S. businesses are home-based business. Think about that. 50% of businesses in the USA are home-based. So a lot of people are taking advantage of this opportunity, and this new virus situation is causing more people to take a look at it because there's so many benefits. I also want you to know, as of 2020, there's roughly 15 million home-based businesses in the United States. So this is not something that we're trying to introduce to you. We're trying to get you to open up and start planning why or how you can have a home-based business too. Another statistic is about 60% of the home-based businesses are non-employers. They work for themselves. They're in charge of their life and they love it. They will tell you there's no way that I'm going back, to a corporate or work environment.
Right.
Now, I'm not asking anybody to cut their jobs off or stop doing it, because you don't want to do that right away if you're having a job, but why not add to it? Add a home-based business until it's so big you don't need that job anymore. Another statistic is 69% of startups today are now home-based business. That's grown quite significantly. And another one is women are more likely to have a home-based business than men. And that is what Sheryl is trying to do today, is to expose new opportunities or renew these opportunities to everyone. And I also want you to know that in 2014, $9.5 billion was claimed from in-home businesses. Now, the reason I keep talking about that is that a lot of people don't want to do a home business because they don't think it's as much money as they would get working, in a brick and mortar environment.
Right.
But the government realized that there's not enough jobs out there for everybody. So they want you to be a home-based business. So they give you a lot of techniques and tools to make it beneficial, for you. Also, the census data from the survey of businesses shows that 57% of home-based businesses brought in less than $25,000 in revenue. Now, just think about this. If you are already working on a job and you had an opportunity to bring in $25,000 more dollars, would that be life changing for you?
I could use
What about you, Sheryl?
$25,000 more dollars.
Yeah.
I
And that's what
Are we the only one? I see the eyes. I see you, Tamatha. I see you, Faye. I see you out there. I see you out there. I done called all my crew. Tag a friend. We need to be able to rebuild our community. And one of the things, Evertrue, that you're giving these stats, and it's so powerful. If people would just sit. I met this gentleman the other day, and his name is Julius, and he said to me, he's of the Rupert thinking. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that terminology. And it's basically, in a nutshell, thinking outside of the box. Instead of just going for the easy nugget of like if you had to turn on the light, let's use that as an example, you would go to the switch and flip the switch and the light would come on. Here's the mindset. What if you took you thinking outside of the box just to get you in that just to contextualize it? is like you would take a spoon that had a ball that would hit cars, that would hit the dominoes, that would go around and ultimately turn the light on. But the purpose of that is we've been programmed to think a certain way. So thinking
Exactly.
requires that you get outside of your comfort zone and really truly look at the matter for what it is. If corporate doesn't want to promote us, and stats show that women are leaving corporate by the groves. Right now, statistically speaking, we represent 46% of all new businesses that are started. That's a message. If you're willing to dig underneath the cover and not just look at the surface, and you really want to go get your bag, that's what they say these days, Evertrue. Go get your bag. If you really want to go get your money, then you have to be willing to think outside the box. How do you get your money? You don't have to necessarily go to McDonald's. You don't necessarily have to go and work again for somebody else. Think about a business that's already substantiated itself, and your Rolodex is your dime mine. So I'm sorry, I just wanted to add that in there, Evertrue.
Thank you for that too, because the times have changed and there's so many opportunities out there now that can be done from your home,
Yes.
that if you don't have one, you're going to get left behind. Now, the other step that I want to share with you guys is the essentials for starting a home business, because I coach and try to mentor people that come to me, and usually when they show up, they're in trouble. They have started making so much money that they don't know how to keep it coming in, or they don't have a plan or strategy and written up that will justify them claiming taxes and
Mhm.
tax deductions, I should say.
Right.
So they usually come to me when they're in trouble. So I just want to give you a few tips on the first 5 things that you would need to do if you are thinking, boy, I really need to look at what I can do instead of just watching TV all the time or just sitting around doing anything. What if you've
On
spent
social media.
25? Yeah, on social media, it's really moving the world and making millions of dollars for a lot of people. Now, here are the 5 things that you should consider first. And I call them the essential business starters. First of all, you have to do your research and choose a business idea. What do you want to do? I can tell you there are a lot of things. Let me just give you a brief example. There's a book out. It's a young guy, an African American guy that lives here in North Carolina. His name is Anthony O'Neill. He works with Dave Ramsey. And I watched some of his videos on YouTube and I was blown away. He wrote a book, which I bought and I now give to all my nieces and nephews that are in high school, because he teaches them in this book how to get a college degree without debt. And I'm like, how in the world is that possible? How in the world is that possible? And it is, but here, listen to this. I've given this book to my nieces and nephews who have children in high school, and I say, hey, they need to go to college. They don't have to have money. It tells them how to do this in the book. I got my BS degree with grants because I didn't know how to do anything else than that. It's a long story, but I figured out how to get a bachelor's degree with grants. Well, this young man has written a book that has 8 steps in it, and it teaches people what to do to get all these grants so that their kids can go to school. Well, think
What's the
about
name of
this.
the
How many
book?
people?
What's the name of the
I'm
book?
sorry. I have it right here. I know I would have to show it. It is called,
To share it with the
I'm
audience,
sorry.
the name of the book.
Yeah,
What is it?
it's called Debt Free Degree. Debt Free Degree. And it is amazing. It tells them how to apply for grants. There are tons of grants out there that young people can get and go to college. He has a video on YouTube and it blew me away. One of the young ladies said that her job when she was in high school was not to go and flip burgers. Her parents told her that she had to fill out applications, like 5 to 20 applications every
Mhm.
day, asking for funds. Now, Cheryl, guess how much money she accumulated in grants going to college? Just pick a number. What do you think?
70,000.
You got to raise your numbers higher. Sheryl messing around with me.
I'm not high enough. I got to dream bigger. That 50 million, maybe I need to go after 100 million women. I'm not sure. But what was the number?
Okay, this young lady accumulated over $500,000 before she even went to college. All she had to do was fill out applications, put them in an envelope, put a stamp on them, and mail them. Did she get a yes to everything she applied to? No. But this young lady got over $500,000 in
Okay, pump
grants that
your
did not
brakes.
have to be returned.
Right. Okay. Oh, Evertrue. Hold on a second. Okay. Everybody out there listening, if you're not taking notes, shame on you. You better be taking notes. And especially for those of you who have kids that are about to go on to college, because as we know, it's really interesting the system, Evertrue, that you're talking about. If she got $500,000, we have a system where we're going to school. We're the most educated right now in this country, Evertrue. But yet and still, we can't hold the highest positions within corporations. What is that picture telling you? What is that picture telling you? That picture for me, I mean, I don't need a rocket scientist to figure it out. And then we accumulate all this debt that we have to pay back for the degrees and we can't get the job
Years.
to order to pay. That is it's ridiculous. It's anything but ridiculous. So if she's giving you a tip, we want to get that book. I'm going to make sure I order it today. Thank you.
Right. Okay. And let me now link that to a home-based business. Trying to get people to think, well, you don't have to go knocking on doors and you don't have to sell lipsticks and bubble baths. What if you bought the book, you read the book, you go through the 8 steps with somebody in your family? It could be your child, a grandchild, a niece or a nephew, and you help them get grant money. Then guess what? You can then become a consultant, because a lot of parents, when they look at the book, they're just like totally lost. If they have not been to college, some of them like want their kids to go, but they would probably pay you a fee for you helping take their children through the process. Does that make sense? So you don't have to say I'm going to be a floor cleaner, a house cleaner, or anything that our parents used to do. There's so many new things that you could do today that will bring you what we call residual income. Because if you help one person get to college, and they may not get $500,000, even if they got 10,000, it would be a great start, for them, to study and to get ahead. So what I'm trying to do with this first step of the essential starts is to get you to think out of the box. Think about what can you do. I also have another story that I'll tell you real quick, and I'll move to the next area. I'm trying to get you to think creatively about what kind of business can you have, in your home. A friend of mine referred Miss Mary Hollis to me, who lives in Atlanta. I live in North Carolina. She has been saying to my friend that she was going to write a book. She's going to write a book. She is a widow, and she's ministering to widows. She had collected 25 stories from widows, and she had been trying to get it published. Well, guess what? I keep moving from the screen here. She came to me and said, I want some help publishing the book. And I said, okay, I can help you do that. We published the book. Actually, we've done 2 now. And she is selling the books to funeral homes and churches. Why do you think she chose funeral homes? Sheryl, tell me what you think.
It would make sense to me because these people are now grieving and really trying to get through the process. And so you have to know your demographic. If you're writing a widow book, how do you get your book to the audience that you're targeting? I can't think of a better place than a funeral home. Like, am I right? Can I get that one?
Right. You got that one right. That is right. And now think about this. Most people go on Amazon and they buy one book. Okay, when she goes to the funeral parlor, she gives them a deal. If they buy 20, 25, 30 books, they get them at a discount. And so she's selling them. And she is very well known, in the Atlanta area. When I met with her, she needed some help writing the books, which I did. And then she came to me and she said, I was helping her to handle her inventory through Amazon. And she said, can I do that? I said, you sure can. I'll show you how. And she's doing everything on her home, in her home, as she's
Wow.
meeting and working with these ladies. So that's a really wonderful business. And that's something she's enjoying. So what I'm trying to say here is when you do the first step, you have to do research and find something that's meaningful, something that's life-changing, something that's going to be around forever. One of the reasons she chose the funeral homes is because women tend to outlive men. I'm not bragging about that in any way, but they tend to live longer. So those funeral parlors have a big connection with the women, the widows, that she has decided she wants to help. Then once you do your research, you got to choose something, that you want to start. I notice a lot of people will have 3 or 4 business going on at the same time, and, they're struggling. It's okay to have multiple streams of income, but you need to figure out, which one you're going to focus on first. Now, step 2 is to start the business.
Before you go to step 2, I just want to just pause just for a minute. For those of you who just came on board, I just want to introduce you to Evertrue Bell. Evertrue Bell is an expert in home-based businesses. When I met her, she was at I was younger, but her and my mother are the best of friends. But she has taken these home-based businesses to record levels in terms of income bringing income. This is what she does full time, all day, every day. And the beautiful thing about it is we just learned, Felicia Duncan just asked, what is your name and what is your profession? But the thing about it is she started off with, did you say 7 streams of income, and now she's up to 14. And I guess the point of view for those of that out there, like you, Miss Felicia Duncan, that's out there killing the world in the real estate game, I want to encourage those who don't to really truly think about alternate ways to make income, because that's what Evertrue is basically outlining for you right now. What other things can you do right now in this economic climate to bring additional income into your house? You don't have to sit there and wait in doom and gloom. There are options, but you got to get out of your own way, and you got to get out of your head and really start thinking, because your treasure could be right in front of you, whether you can be in a consultative role or actually going out and get a home business. And she's giving you the tools and tips that you need once you do that. So Evertrue, please do continue.
Okay, thank you. You said it well. It's really exciting too when you can help people, not just service the world, but help change their lives. Let me give you another quick example of a client that I'm still working with right now. I've been working with for 2 years now. She's 37 years old, has a bachelor's degree, and she was running the second largest prison here in North Carolina for 13 years. She had gotten to the point where she felt her life was threatened because her honest, natural life was not what that facility was made of. She came to me the first time and she said, I want to quit my job and just I'm working on a virtual call center. And so I listened to her, and I didn't quite understand, the virtual call center concept at that point. She was making $60,000 at that time. And she said, I've been working with it for 2 years, and I want to walk away from the prison and do this business. So I went into some questions, about how does it work? How much time, how much debt are you in now? And she told me everything. And I said, well, you need to cut down some of that debt right now. Most of it was college funding, that she owed. I said, you need to get rid of some of that debt before you walk away from your job. Guess what? In less than a year, she came knocking on my door again. And right now, she's running a virtual call center from her home. Now, from her home, she has recruited over 200 people that are now being connected to some of the Fortune 500 companies all across the United States. She's still my client. She calls me her operations. Now, listen to this. In October 2020, her second full year of working this business from home, she just paid out her first $1 million. Now,
Woo!
if is that
Okay.
not life changing?
Wait a minute. Okay, you guys, if you're not listening to this and grabbing some tools and tips and tricks in terms of what's possible when you believe, this platform is called Being Mentally Fit. FIT stands for faith, intuition, and tenacity. It really does require that you step out. What that is a faith move. What that is a faith move. It's stepping out and believing in the possibility. I want to say that, a lot of people, Evertrue, look at where we are right now as doom and gloom. Like, the world is ending. It's just like everything is so like you keep thinking it can't get any lower, and it just keeps going lower and lower. We systematically have people in place for whatever their reasons, and they can keep them, don't want to see us succeed. But I want to say there's a shift in thinking in this 21st century, what we're moving towards. And the shift in thinking is in your own mind. Nobody can stop you from your greatness. You were born to be great. God said, I have plans for you, plans to prosper you, plans not to harm you, but plans to give you a hope and a future. I believe that. And you have to believe that too. And what she just shared with you, that story, you have to really start thinking, what can I do? And do get away from the TV and do get off of social media and really start getting some books and start mentoring with people like Evertrue Bell that can give you some insights about what you could possibly do to bring in more income. Here goes the thing. If you never tried it, how do you know? You got to try it first. You got to try it. So
That's
Evertrue, I just want to be also mindful of time, because the one thing that really happens with this platform that I love, and it also just like painstaking because it goes by so fast. And I know you have a
yes.
lot of tools of wisdom that you want to use. Does anybody have any questions of Evertrue? We do want to make this
That would be
interactive.
great.
So it's not just about her sharing, but we want to hear from you. We want to know what's ailing you. If you thought about doing a home-based business, and if not, why didn't you move forward with it? And I'm sure there are a multitude of businesses out there that you could do your research on and find out what matches you. Don't do things that you don't like. If you don't like selling lipstick, don't sell lipstick. Find something that is you're passionate about. And Evertrue, with that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to add those words in. So please continue.
Oh, please keep interrupting, because you know your audience and you know what they're looking for. And again, I want to thank you for this opportunity, but I'm going to give everybody this website that I want you to go to and do your research. It's so perfect. And I'm going to repeat it twice. And Cheryl, you write it down too if you're near
Yes,
a
ma'am. I'm
pen
going to
so
put
you
it down
can
so they can get it. I'm ready.
Okay, it's called Fundera, Fundera.com. Fundera.
Fondera.com. And what is Fondera.com? What is this, Evertrue?
It's a website that is designed to educate people in their home, in your pajamas, if you please, an opportunity for you to do your research. And I tell you, as African American women, you you've got to go into the bank or a credit union or to even your own bank account, right? Because you get turned down because you're not prepared when you go in to ask for money to help fund, a business. And this website has everything on it. There's so much information. I want you to create your own book. Don't go to the library and borrow one, because you got to take it back before you're finished. I want you to go to this website and create a manual around what you think might be a good home-based business for you. Let me give you some examples of what you can find on this website. I'm sorry I don't have this to pop up on the screen, but it's going to give you the statistics that I started out with. I just love this website. It's about home-based business and how it works and why everybody in America should have one. It goes through the essential guides to starting a new business. And this is really important because a lot of people come to me and their business is blowing up, but they haven't registered it. They don't pay taxes. And I'm going to tell you before we run out of time that the tax deductions on a home-based business is amazing. It is amazing. I have earned over $100,000 in the last 10 years just because of the legal tax deductions, that are available. So once you go into this website, you'll be able to tap into all of these resources that we don't have time to give you all the details on it. You can find out what is the average income. What is the average salary of somebody that has a home-based business? This is one of the things you definitely have to find. It's the definite list of 35 home-based business tax deductions. Guess what? You can have a home-based business in your home for 5 years and not pay taxes. Well, I say you'll pay taxes, but you'll get refunded. There's 35 what they call definitive tax deductions. Now,
Somebody
based
put
on
that in the chat. Definitive tax deductions. Y'all, she's giving you so much game right now. Oh my goodness. I love this. Thank you, Miss Bell. Thank you.
And it's awesome. The report, when you go to Fendora, this definitive list was updated on May the 18th, 2020. So I'm giving you current information. When you go to this website, you need to go to that one first. Type in the definitive list of 35 home business tax deductions. So why do you want to know that? Because whatever business you choose, you want to be able to get your taxes. You don't have to, pay some taxes to get taxes back. But let's say you're already working a job, or if you have a husband that's working a job and you're filing joint, you can get a percentage of that money back. And I can tell you that is very lucrative. Another example on there is a tax preparation checklist. It'll tell you all the things that you need before you go in to get your taxes done. There's so many good things. Another one is they list 9 best grants. And I wanted to tell you some of those companies. Oh my goodness. The grants that are being given away every year. Sheryl, you might, if you haven't already done this one, because you're working for women. I thought about you when I looked at this. But one of those links, when you go into that portal, is called the 9 best grants for nonprofit organizations in 2020. And there's 9 companies. Now tell me if you recognize any of these companies. The first one is the 3M Foundation. Now they focus a lot on Earth and the environment. The Carnegie Foundation, the Coca-Cola Foundation. I'm gonna come back to that one because that one is about women. Colored women, they don't call them colored women, but Black women. Coca-Cola Foundation.
We're not colored, Evertrue. We Black.
I'm looking at this Coca-Cola. But also Walmart Foundation, Ford Foundation, Amazon Web Service Image Grant, Bank of America. Now, I didn't like Bank of America until I heard they were giving away money. I said, all I thought they did was take our money. Google Ad Grant and Google for Nonprofits. Now, when you go into this portal, you need to go search for the 9 best grants for nonprofit people. Now, let's think about this. The book that I showed you about Anthony, if I can show you this again. Anthony O'Neill, this is the book when you go to look for it, is Debt-Free Degree. How is it? Debt-Free Degree. I'm sorry. Okay, what if you became a consultant and go around to these inner city schools, high schools, and offer them your service to help kids who really want to go to college apply for grants? And then you go in here and sign up with Coca-Cola, you might get the money you need, to fund your travel, to buy a car, to pay for the gas. I mean, you got to really think big about this. The reason I pulled Coca-Cola out, because when I looked at that, it said, why they do it? They dedicate 1% of its prior year's operating income to nonprofit organizations that empower women, enhance communities, protect the environment, and advance education. Now, Who needs that more than us? Nobody.
Well, I'm just
So
saying.
that's something. I hope somebody on this call is going to go to that website, Fundera, first and do some research and start thinking about how you can volunteer your service, to the community that you live in. Think
Oh my,
about now what's happening.
yeah, Evertrue. One of my dear sister friends asked the question, where would you recommend someone to start who wants to do an online course in writing a book?
To teach somebody how to write a book, or is she trying to learn how to write a book?
Felicia, clarify and we'll come back. Felicia Duncan, clarify and we'll come back. We'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
But Evertrue, the thing that you just shared is so valuable beyond measure, because sometimes we think we look at it, is it a mountain or a molehill, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to be willing to, as we started, this platform is all about being mentally fit, faith, intuition, and tenacity. Felicia is looking for a ghostwriter.
Okay, well, she's looking at one. I've ghost written 4 books. Um,
There
I
you
have
go.
those here too.
There you go.
Let me see. Okay, here is the first one. And it's on Amazon right now. And this is Avon representative. It's called Accelerated Success. And she came to me and asked me for help when I was still employed as the national trainer for Avon products. She built a $4.2 million business in 2 years. I thought it was amazing. And I used to take her on the road with me so she could inspire other Avon ladies to work the business. Then she got stuck. She was stuck at $4 million for 2 years, and she wanted more money. And guess who she came to? Oh, me. Okay, so
I
I was
love
like,
it.
okay.
I
Okay,
love
so
it.
she's from Jamaica. And I went down, I spent 11 days on the island with her to get her story and to see what did she do? How did she do? What did she do to get to 4.2 million in 24 months? She was desperate, had a bad marriage, brutal marriage, and she needed to get out of that with 2 children. So she had a fierce fight to have a better life. But anyway, she wants to know, the question is, there are a lot of ghostwriters out there, so you have to do your research, to find out what type of writer, you want, because there's a lot out there. The second book that I wrote is about my family. It's called The Candle That's Burned for 30 Years. I started a family reunion 30 years ago, and we're still together. And this is a huge family now. It's 400 to 500 people that come out every 3 years. And I've captured our family history, which I want you all to know. My family were slaves of one of the James K. Polk, I had to think of his name. James K. Polk, who was a president, was the owner of the slaves that came from my family. So I wrote about all of that. I did a lot of research. Okay, here's the other one. This is the other two. Now, this one is
Oh,
the
with your
one
bad.
that I
Oh,
did.
true.
Yeah, this one is for the lady who is in charge of working with the widows. It's called The Widow's Touch. This was the first one. And she sold 7,000 of these books already, working it by herself without Amazon. They are on Amazon as well.
Ooh,
And then
y'all
she
need to
came
give this
back.
queen a high five. I'm just saying, she's doing amazing things. And this last one is?
This is a guide that she came back to me, and she's Evertrue. They need a guide. These are the things in this book that a widow would have to do, like in the first 2 months after she loses her loved one. And she said, they are asking, well, what should I do? How should I do it? And she put this little pamphlet, together, for them. So there's a lot of ghostwriters out there. You can Google it. And also there's people. I can, sure, I can refer them to some names. I'm trying to think of this site. Fiverr has a lot of ghostwriters, on it too. You just have to find one that's interested in the concept, that you want to promote. Okay, I hope that helped.
No, that
If I ever,
absolutely. Right. So, Evertrue, we have about 3 minutes left. And I'd like to just make sure that the audience, if you have any questions of this expert, and she truly is that an expert, Evertrue, when she told you she has 14 streams of income, that should be a testimony within itself. And I have watched her. I know how she lives. And I'm going to say it's quite fabulous. So, you might want to tap into an Evertrue Bell and ask her for her insights and her wisdom of how she continues. And I said continues to strive in her life. And how do you go from, look, I'm working on getting Sheryl Grant Enterprise off the ground. And Evertrue just told me, look, she has 14 streams of income. So obviously my vision's not big enough. Obviously, I need to get a bigger vision about my life, you guys. I don't know how you guys feeling, but you might need to get a bigger one too and step outside the zone. But I'm going to say, Evertrue, that I really believe, that a lot of it is being cognizant of how we spend our time. And one of the things that we, being African American Black people, we are consumers. We consume, we consume, consume. We're the ones that are going out and making Facebook what it is.
Everybody else rich.
Exactly. What it is. We're making Instagram what it is. We're making TikTok what it is. We are consumers. We need to flip the script. I'm not saying that you can't set aside some time, but give yourself more time than you're giving that energy to that into building you a brand and a business that can help bring more income into your house. And I know that sometimes we talk about being fit, it's faith. But in order to, faith is something you got to practice. You got to start stepping outside. What did you do today? How did you start your day? How did you start your day? I got a whole thing about that. How did you start your day? And then if you calculated your time, if you haven't, try doing this. Start calculating how you're spending your time. You'd be surprised how much time you spend on social media. If you flip that and just put half of that back into you, where would you be financially?
Exactly. Can I just add a closing
You
thought
can.
that might
You can.
cause
You
people?
absolutely sure can.
Okay.
Evertrue, I love you so much, and I so appreciate you being here. I really do. I really do.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud of you too, Sheryl. I've seen you grow up and be a business owner. So I'm so very proud of you. Thank you for this. But I want to leave everybody with the type of tax deductions. I'm not going to read all 35 of them, but a lot of people don't go into a home-based business because they are afraid of the taxes. I'm going to tell you, the taxes are your friend when you have a home-based business. The government wants you to work, but they want a portion of it. But they want you to keep working so we have a healthy environment. But these are the kinds of things that you can deduct. So, and I like to tell people this early on because a lot of the things are relevant to any business industry you choose, okay?
Right.
And it's awesome. In my case, I'm sitting here in my office. This is my office. I only have 3 bedrooms in my house. This is the second largest bedroom in my house because the bigger space you use, the greater percentage of refunds you get on these deductions. So right now I'm getting 18% of whatever my bills are. 18%. Now think about that in terms of the bills. The higher the bills, the more you're going to get back. But I'm just going to skim through these. These are the 35 definitive deductions. Okay, health insurance premiums, 18% of that comes back. Any education or training that I'm going to take to be better as a consultant or to help grow my business. If you invest in a solo 401k, if you have any finance deductions, bad debt, bank fees, startup cost amortizations, credit card fees, cost of goods sold, loan interest, office supplies. I get killed on that with ink. Think about how expensive ink is. Paper. It's a deduction. Postage stamps, newspapers, magazines. That's why I say read, buy these books. They're tax deductible. Your homeowner's insurance, you can write off 18% of that. That's huge. HOA, janitor. You can't say I'm going to get my house cleaned by a maid. No, but if you list it on your taxes as janitorial services, you could have a maid come in while you're working and clean your house and get a percentage of that. That's what I do. Mortgage insurance, mortgage interest, repairs and maintenance. It just goes on. Your utilities. How many utility bills? You get to write off 18% of that. But let me tell you, you will not get any of those benefits unless you set it up like a business with a name, with an EIN account or LLC or whatever's going to be best for you. And then the company will bring money back into your house while you're building it up. And then for as long as you have that business. They do make a few changes from year to year, but I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this now for almost 40 years, and I've been writing off my taxes. That was the first big check I got, which made me understand that I got to keep getting some deductions. My first check was $3,000. $3,000 when I first set up my office in my home. And I would say the largest one has been over $20,000 in just and I got a few other little things in there too that I had taxable or they helped me. So I'm not going to go through all of that, but all of the information that I've highlighted tonight is in that website. If you go to Fundera.com and you can just type in the search and you can find a lot of things that should motivate you to want to have a home-based business. So Sheryl, I want to throw it back to you. And again, I just love you. And I've been just waiting for my day, just waiting for my turn to be with you.
You know what?
You're on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah, well, you got your turn. And the thing that I want to say to you, Evertrue, is that you are an inspiration for those of us, sometimes we allow age to become a number and not allowing us to reach our highest heights. We allow situations to be an obstacle that stops us from reaching our highest heights. The only person in our way is us. And one of the things that Evertrue was talking about in these home-based businesses, it is a fact that the stronger you are in your business, the stronger your community survives, because your community is what you're engaging with. And we have to really rethink as we move forward with this new administration, that the person we need to rely on us is ourselves. And when we come together as a community, there's nothing that can stop us. The election should show you that alone. When we came together, we put him in office. When we come together, we truly can shift things, and we don't have to come through this ridicule of this visceral hate that is spewed at us for no reason. There's no reason for it. There's just none. But our best is yet to come. Our bet is just to come. And I just want to say, Evertrue, you are an amazing queen. You are my Sheryl. I thank you for shining. I thank you for giving me permission to shine. All my life, my mama said, Sheryl,
yes.
Evertrue. Sheryl, Evertrue can help you. And I just
so beautiful. I love her too. You and
we want to thank you. I want to thank everybody else. Radonna said you're very inspirational, but Evertrue, you are. Did you hear me, you guys? She has a total of 14 streams of revenue. If anybody can top that, give me a call and let's have a conversation. But my goal is to get to where she is so that I can live my best life. Evertrue Bell, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Sheet that you sent me, I'll post it in the comments so that people can all those websites and all that reference and research information that you've so diligently done, and take it and share with them so that they can go out and be your best selves. It's time to live, y'all. It's time to live.
It's time to make it happen. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, everybody, have a great one. God bless.